It's awesome to be joined by a band that we discovered at 2000 Trees last year and were one of the highlights for us. It's High Regard. How you guys doing?
Hey,
Hey mate, good, thank you. How are you doing?
Not too bad, thank you very much. So yeah, we met you for the first time at 2000 Trees because you reached out because you saw us on like a press list, and I'm so glad you did because you generally were one of the best bands that we saw last year.
oh,
Absolutely love you guys.
thank you.
Yeah, I think we were. It was last minute for us, so we were like, we got added like quite late notice. I think Tom was like, right, let's talk to people when we're there. And it was like it's such a cool like press area. I think he had spoken to you beforehand. Our guitarist Tom and was like, yo, if you're down to talk to us, come check us out. Basically, we're like, at least then there'll be one person watching us from the crowd.
It was great. It was a great show. The forest stage is just, I mean, just wonderful in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. Like it's so vibey there, isn't it?
Yeah, well because we were going to talk on the Sign Kicks tour that we've just finished, and we were saying to them the whole week, we're like, they were like, "What's the forest stage like?" And we were saying it's the smallest stage, but it's the best stage. Like, so it's so cool to have like an outdoor stage that feels so beautiful and
Mm,
like picturesque.
yeah,
And then we went back to sort of view it from the crowd perspective and caught Interlakers, I think,
yeah,
and we're like, oh, it's really cool to watch from here as well. So that was nice.
Yeah. Was that your first time at Trees?
yeah. As we hadn't even attended before, had we?
No, we went. A group of friends went the year before.
Oh, for a day, wasn't it?
Yeah, just for a day. I think it was Bullet for My Valentine headlining. And I'd only gone to like Download Festival before, so to go for Download is such like a massive festival, and all of it's such a it's a huge event. The scale of it is crazy. And then to go to 2000 Trees, I was like, this is a really cool vibe here instead. And it was much more relaxed, much more friendly, much
Easier
more,
to get to stages.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And when we were there, it wasn't even a thought that we could be playing the next year.
Yeah,
So when that,
definitely like a goal, but
yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
it was,
But yeah, it was when we got the offer to do it, we're like, absolutely, like
Yeah.
they'll have us basically.
See, I agree with you about Download. I love Download, but like I tend to sit on the main stage of Download because like every band that they get is like huge and massive. And then with Trees, I feel I discover more bands a lot more because like I know a lot of the main stage, but then I'm like I've seen them or I'm seeing them recently, like they're going to be touring soon, so I can go see other people. Whereas like Download's like every band's like a stadium for the main stage. Like, well, I'll get my money's worth out of this lot. So I love that fact that 2000 you can kind of just go around and see all these new people. And Interlaker are a great band as well.
yeah, like we stumbled across them and I knew straight away the lead singer's voice because I loved like Lonely the Brave
Yeah.
when he was obviously singing for them. And I said to Matt, I was like, I know whose voice this is. You can just tell because he's got such a
Oh
unique,
yeah.
but yeah, they're an awesome band, like really enjoy what they're doing.
Yeah. So with you guys, I kind of want to take this right back to the start because like when we caught up, it was like a 10-minute chat on quickly it backstage. So like let's go back to the beginning. When did High Regard come about? Who was the sort of the founder? Who kind of got everyone together and went, let's start a band? Like who was the one going, we could do this?
I think it would probably be me and Tom because we were both at music college, the same music college. He was doing a HND course, and I was doing the it's level three, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like a level three college course basically. So we'd been in another band before that. We were called Subside, and then we like binned that off and started afresh basically. Became High Regard in 2020. So we were a lockdown project, and it was a different lineup then, but we eventually grabbed Matt from a different band in Watford. So we're all like Watford people basically. And that became the lineup we are today. So yeah, we've been going officially since 2020, but yeah, me and Tom will be co-founders, I suppose.
Yeah. One of the good things to come out of COVID.
Yeah.
But like, so for you two individually then, so like when was the first time you remember getting into music? Like you heard like thinking, this is amazing, like this is something I really want to get involved with.
I think I don't know if I could completely pinpoint it. I think there's been different moments for me. I wanted to play instruments from quite a young age. I think when I was about 10 years old, I saw someone playing the violin in the street and was like, yeah, that's so cool, I want to do that. So I tried violin when I was 10 and realized that reading notation is really difficult. So so started playing guitar after then, which was easier because it was tabs. But yeah, I think I always wanted to play instruments, and then I realized I like singing, so like started singing and playing guitar. But I think a turning point is probably I never like heard rock music on the radio, and then it was normally later drives that you'd get like the rock station would come on,
Yeah.
and I remember hearing rock music and being like, oh, this is really cool, like I've never heard anything like this. So yeah, I think that was probably a turning point as well. I think everything came together then. The guitar playing became distorted guitar playing after that.
What were the first few bands you remember hearing going, these are awesome?
I think the one that really sticks out for me is probably on the radio, Mallory Knox. I don't know about you, we had quite different tastes probably.
Yeah, I think similarly where I was aware of sort of music, but it never caught my attention. The first instrument I learned to play was the steel pans as part of like a school project, which is wild. I could talk for days about that, but it was just I liked music and I was passionate enough about it, but I didn't enjoy it in the same way that what we were exposed to back then was truly dreadful pop music. Like the low point for mainstream pop, I think, was when I was first introduced to it, and it was only when friends went, you know, there's other music out there, and you like give me like American Idiot or the like a couple of like the Slipknot albums, and you go, oh, like this I really enjoy this. And whether it was because I enjoyed it because my mates were telling me I liked it, or it was because it was something we got to share together, it didn't really matter because we just listened to it, hang out, have a good time, and then that sort of solidified it for me as the music that I enjoyed. And I think at that point it was almost a badge of honor to be like a metalhead, to like that scene. And we were probably a little bit gatekeepy as well, so I was very like elitist metal, so it had to be screamo. You can't understand the words. If you can read the name, they're too mainstream. So I was like further down the other end, and
Yeah.
then slowly and surely been like exposed to more and more of the easy listening rock side of it, I think.
I still think going in with if you went in with Iowa, like that's a heavy album to go like to get introduced to alternative music. Yeah, just put Iowa on and you'll love it. That's American. It makes sense because you know that's a nice little gentle way in. But Iowa is just a slap to the face.
But I think that like when you're that age, you want that like pointlessly aggressive, like it make your parents upset when you listen to it. You want something like that, don't you? And that was ticking all the boxes back then. So.
Yeah, I mean Iowa is just probably one of the most aggressive albums ever made. Like Corey's voice on it is just like sickening in places. It's just so just disgusting, but in like a great way.
Yeah.
So obviously, so you kind of got into music what in like your teens, it's sort of when we all relatively get into. So then High Regard comes around in COVID. What sort of bands were you listening to then that kind of influenced how you were going to get going?
Well, I think I always say this, but they were such a big band for me. Would be Sleeping with Sirens, and probably from With Ears album like onwards. Yeah, like just I think it wasn't too heavy, but it still had those heavy aspects that I liked. It was sort of genre which I hadn't really listened to much before. It was a bit heavier than like Mallory Knox and You Me at Six, which I've been listening to, but still not super heavy. I went into Older Bring Me from there. It was a slow progression for me. Matt started here and probably came down, whereas I probably went up. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think probably Sing Sirens I'd always say. But
Yeah, around that time, particularly over COVID, I was still with my other project, and we had just started getting a few like press shouts and things. And I remember at that time, any sort of outlet that mentioned us, the main band that they mentioned would have been Trash Boat.
Okay.
And then when I joined High Regard, they were like, "Oh, come meet with our producer, who was Ryan, the guitarist of Trash Boat." So I walked into this room with this band that I just joined, and I was like, oh, I was a little bit starstruck with him, and like excited for like what that could mean. Like having someone like that have an influence on your songs, like can help develop them a lot, I think. And like we worked with him for the first few songs, and only recently has started sort of looking at how much more we can sort of bring internally. But that was like a really cool, like it feels like a real moment then when you start doing that.
Sorry if you hear the dog whining.
That's fine.
She's not paying me attention.
Why not? That's to be fair, all dogs like that, and they deserve it. 'Cause dogs are cool. I'm with you with the Bring Me. I kind of started with the newer Bring Me, and then went back towards like Suicide Seasons. Even though I listened to Slipknot, I was like, that stuff's a bit too aggressive for me. And I was like, no, now it's not enough for me. But yeah. So obviously, so we got that. So you've just started, and then the song that we got obsessed with for a very long time was Dead to Me. Like, just everything about that song is pretty much perfect. Like the melody, like it's just incredible. So, who are you? Do you all write together, or is it a case of somebody brings an idea forward and then you work it up, or because there's some bands that you have one person who kind of does everything, or it's a combination of. So how do you guys go about it?
It's mainly myself, because I normally write demos through Logic. With Dead to Me, it was one I planned to properly flesh out, but it was mainly just vocals and guitar that it started with. So it was like a verse and a chorus. And then I think that one got sent on and sort of fleshed out. I think Tom fleshed that one out a bit more, with like the chords and the melody on Logic. But yeah, normally like with our latest single, it was sort of I wrote all the parts out as a demo, and then we'll take that, either we'll send it around the band, or then we'll just take it straight to a producer. It's something we're looking into doing more for this next EP, where we're just sort of self-producing now, because everything's basically, it's very fleshed out demo. So yeah, that's pretty much how we work.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, Dead to Me. The chorus, just that melody in the chorus. Every time I listen to it, I then just start humming it for about a week straight. Like it never leaves. It's good, but it never leaves. So it's self-produced now, which a lot of people are doing. Obviously, I think there's a combination of things are more accessible to do yourselves, and obviously there's a massive cost saving thing because being in a band is not cheap, is it? Especially at your sort of level, like you've really got to love what you're doing to keep going, haven't you?
Yeah, I think we came to that point where we were like, we need to keep costs down or cut costs, but we don't want to lose quality. And it was sort of looking at places that we could and needed to do that. Like we want to be putting out the best product, but also you need to try and save pennies.
Yeah. I think we are quite efficient in a lot of what we do, which is it's maybe good we didn't speak in Southampton, because you would have caught us at the end of a non-rested week, where we instead of getting a van, we just got like an SUV and squashed everyone in that with all our gear. Just anything to keep the cost down. So I would tell friends or colleagues like, oh, I'm off taking annual leave this week, I'm going off on tour, and they have this picture in their minds of glamorous like tour bus, like sold out arenas and things. I'm like, lower your expectations. Like, but it's tough when, for us, that's been like the goal for a long time, to go out on a tour is what bands dream of doing. So you're so excited to be doing it, and you're like, this is really cool, but then you wake up and you're so tired, and then you got to drive yourselves off to the next town, and struggle to do it. But then at least we can like get to the end of it with not losing loads of money, which is it's a horrible situation, I think, for bands to be in. And I know a lot of bands are becoming quite vocal about it now, which is something bands didn't do originally. I think they like to present the image of huge wealth and success because it sold an image, sold the band as well. But all of it is just trying to sustain the band now. We don't really take any money out. It's all just reinvesting. But it was a struggle to even get to that point where we could get
stop putting money in.
exactly, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Where instead of it being, oh, it's time to record a new song, right? Everyone, get the credit card out. We're gonna do this. The band can sustain itself, which is a huge accomplishment,
Yeah.
and something we worked like really hard to get to. But it's a nice moment to reach now. But in doing that, we do need to then be selective with who we bring in, where we bring them in, and what will help us make the best product, or what we can't then do ourselves.
Yeah, and that getting to that state where you're sort of self-sufficient as a band and like it's self-funding itself. That in itself is a really big milestone to get to. And like a lot of people even tap out before then because it's just so hard to get to that point. Like so that's a really big achievement and especially this day and age like yeah, cutting costs, everyone's doing it like touring it just looks grueling. Like even on like a nice tour bus, they're not that nice.
Yeah, yeah. We've had some that feel less sort of. I'm trying to think of the word, but
Intense. Like
yeah, yeah,
this one, yeah, the last one, it was great. Like Sign Kicks was so lovely. It was such good vibes, but it just felt especially intense this time. I think we managed to get a car. I think we had it last time where the middle seat didn't fold down, only one of the side seats. So there was one point me and Jev were just like in the back together like this, like eating a Burger King and just like
yeah, it is probably our own doing, because our diet goes completely downhill as soon as we get out on the road. It's just, I think we'd we set off with the best intentions, and we'd probably been on the road for an hour, and we're like,
get
there's a
McDonald's.
service station here, so swing in, and then we're all eating that, and then suddenly we're like, why don't we feel great anymore?
Pretty sure that's the same with every band. And even it's the same with us. If we go out to like festivals or go to a gig, like yeah, just service stations or fast food. It just becomes the norm, doesn't it? So that's a massive milestone to get to, being able to be self-sufficient. So what other goals that you now have? Like what goals have you already achieved? And then what goals have you got like maybe 6 months or a year that you could possibly get to?
I think my biggest goal for us at the moment is like play slam dunk. Because I was lucky enough to do a little feature for As It Is this year, which
Yeah.
was crazy. It went so quickly, it feels a bit like a fever dream. But yeah, I think after that, it was a big moment. I felt buzzing. So I was like, yes, I want us to play like a slam dunk is a festival I attended, I think I attended when I was 16, which I think was their like 20th anniversary,
Yeah, the
maybe.
20th anniversary next year for
Must have
Slam
been.
Dunk.
Oh, it was the 10-year anniversary then. Yeah, I attended that. So, and that was still at the university then. So to play slam dunk would be a real like mind blowing moment for me personally. So that's up there for me.
Yeah, I think for me, I've always had Underworld in London as like a target for myself. It's where I went to see a lot of the first gigs that I went to. So I went to see, I think I saw Motionless in White play there. I saw Axe Wound play there, which was the Cancer Bats. So Liam from Cancer Bats and Matt Tuck from Bullet did like a super group project.
Yeah.
Axe Wound that played Underworld. I saw like countless other bands go through there, and it was just that if a band at that time was touring through London, they'd stop at Underworld. So I was like, that's the level I want to get to. But I think as well, like stuff that we've been able to do, like start of this year, we did the Grace in London, and we're able to sell out that room, like thanks to like all of our fans, like pulling through, like some of them traveling over from Germany
Netherlands.
and the
Yeah.
Netherlands as well, just to come for like the sort of first headline show of this era of the band. Um, so it was incredible to sort of be in a room surrounded by people who you've only seen like their display names or something
Yeah.
for the longest time.
Yeah, they turned up with hello, my name is, and then their Discord name. So we that was so sweet.
Yeah, that was like a huge accomplishment to be able to put, like we're like, how big do we make the sold out sticker when we put it over the poster? Like we're like, can we cover the whole page? Just to let everyone know, like, yeah, we did this. I think anytime we get to do a festival, like getting to do, I think Burn It Down was the first, and then we did 2000 Trees where we met yourself, and we got to do Radar this year as well. Like those festivals feel like such milestone moments
Mm.
where you're performing to such a huge number of people, and you're like, this is our chance to win this group of people over. Like, we got to make them remember us at the end of the day. When there's so many bands on, you're like, what can we do to stand out? Like, we just need to make sure we play the best set as we can, and if we throw in some extra gimmicks, like all the better. But
Yeah, I love those goals though, and and also the Underworld. That's an amazing venue. It's an insane venue though. We saw Knocked Loose there earlier this year,
yeah,
and that was intense.
yeah, I'm sure it was sold out plus another like on the capacity on those ones. But
It definitely felt it. So slam dunk, that's one. So then I'm assuming like Reading and Leeds and things like that, they would be on the radar as well, just
Yeah.
a little bit further down the line. So have you got anything planned this year as in terms of performing live? Anything else still to come?
Well, we have got something going on in November, don't we?
the worst kept secret tour in the world. As everyone is already aware, we're going on tour in November. We're going to be
Yeah, I
going.
should have known that. I should have seen that.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll be doing Leeds, Birmingham, and then London. Unfortunately, not the Underworld this time. No matter how much I tried it, I think we're just like, we'll get there when we get there. But we're excited to go out for a little run. Started the year with just a one-off London show, so we wanted to go a bit further afield, hit some more towns in there as well, so that more people have a chance to come see us, and we can see the sort of new friends we've made across this year as well. So that'll be really good, to get out to them, and there may be a couple of others that are sort of still,
In the works.
yeah, the cursed email of, oh, are you free on this date, and then you wait forever for a response that might not come through. But anything we do get, we'll make sure to shout loudly about it.
Yeah.
So,
Whereabouts in London is it?
it will be
Camden Assembly, right?
Camden Assembly,
Yeah.
so just down the road.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately it's the same night that our friends in Lakes are playing Underworld, so they get to live out my dream. We'll probably catch up with them at some point on that day as well.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's cool. I like this, and I love that you guys. And you say about converting people when they catch you at a festival. You definitely did that because like me and my wife fell in love with you, and also Jodie and Paul, who we were with, they became obsessed as well. Like, and then we kind of just tell everyone about you as well. So like, it's working.
Yeah, we if we do Underworld, we just need like everyone to bring like 10 of their closest friends, and then I can have my own dream.
Yeah, that it's I think that's quite an achievable dream because what it's 500, I want to say.
Yeah, yeah. It's hopefully not far off, but it's it seems far, but it's everything seems to snowball in this industry, and you sort of, once one peg starts to turn, the next sort of target gets hit, you're like, oh well, let's set the next one further out. But
Yeah.
it seems to
It does feel like a
go
video
down.
game, doesn't it? It's like you have to level up each time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think we were sat in the pub after the headline show at the start of the year, and everyone was like, that was really good. Like, and everyone on the team and like friends and stuff, were like, that was really good. What's next? And we're like, well, we've only just finished doing that one. I'm still tired from that. But
That's half the battle these days. Everything is, oh, you've done an album, so when's the next one? Like people are already wanting that next conversation, which is I could see that being quite scary as a creator or a musician, like someone who's doing art, and everyone's just like, oh, that was good, but what's
yeah,
X and Y and Z?
yeah, and everything needs to be as good or better than the last.
yeah,
Because
like
if
instant as well. They want it fast, don't they?
yeah, because if we did the sold out show in London and then the next one isn't sold out, it's like, well, you're only as successful or as good as the most recent one.
Yeah.
Sort of how much people enjoyed it or how good the show was falls so far down in the consideration. Obviously, to the people who come, like that's the most important metric. But I think within the industry, it's almost forgotten that that's who the most important person is,
numbers,
really.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for both of you, what is your favorite High Regard song, and also what is the biggest moment as a band you've had so far? Like the moment you've just gone, holy shit, this has happened because I'm in High Regard.
I feel like I have to say my favorite song is our newest song, Red Lights. It is up there. It's probably my second favorite, but my first favorite is Mirror Glass. Just because it's very personal and it's got one of my favorite melodies in there. So I'd have to say Mirror Glass, closely followed by Red Lights.
I'm probably going to choose Life Sentence. I think it's the song that we get to perform the most exuberantly. And like ever since I started doing it, that was what I wanted to do. Like the people I looked up to were like the showmans on stage, like going crazy, like Jason Butler from Let Live, like maybe not to the same degree because it seems quite expensive to perform in the way that he does. But sort of channeling that like the chaotic energy and like throwing yourself around, getting into it in the same way that the crowd is doing, has always been something that I've really enjoyed, and that's why I think I enjoy the sort of live performance aspect of it the most. So that one's a really sort of special moment. I think the sort of moment that hit me would be, it probably is Tree sort of looking out and like seeing that group of people. But there was also a moment, I think just before or maybe just after we had performed, where we were walking back into the press area, and Simon Neil walked past me because he was playing with the Empire State band that year. And I was like, that's just like all like starstruck completely, in a way that like there was the press area there is really cool because everyone just sort of hangs around, and I'm like, that's such and such, that's such and such person. But I think seeing him walk past was a bit of a pinch me moment, so that was really cool.
Yeah, I think I'd say similar to you, probably with when As It Is asked if I wanted to come up at Slam Dunk, it was the night before, so it was the last day of their run, which we were support on, and yeah, the night before Slam Dunk, so like, do you want to come up? And I was like, yes, of course. So I had probably, it might have been less than 12 hours, right? No, they were on quite late, so it was a bit longer. That it was like 24 hours before. And so I was like, okay, like this is happening, kind of crazy. But when I went backstage beforehand, and I was like quite nervous but quite contained, and I just saw like a load of like people walking around. I think it was like Hot Milk were just casually there, and then like Mikey from Mallory Knox was there, which is obviously who I mentioned earlier. So I just had like casual chat with some people, and I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like so out of place right now. This is wild. But yeah, that was like a crazy moment. That was a nice ode to young me, I think.
That's awesome. It's exciting. It's an exciting time for you guys. So we've got the tour in November. Also, Red Lights is only out recently. So you said about working on an EP. Is that expected this year or start of next year, maybe?
It will be slowly coming out this year. So Red Lights is the first track on that EP. So there'll be some more songs to follow and some videos in there as well.
Amazing. So that's what we've got to look forward to this year with you guys. So yeah, Camden Assembly will definitely come along to that. That'll be awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for your time. And yeah, I'm so glad you reached out at Trees because yeah, we have become mildly obsessed. So it's great. But I love that. So thank you so much, guys.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
mate. Appreciate it.